Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! I've been reading a lot of Reddit stories lately, so I figured I'd share the story that happened a few months ago. I'm 26 years old and I'm a police officer who normally works the night shift 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. On this particular day, I was in a training class that was scheduled from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Standard uniform attire for classes are the blue polo shirt with department logo on chest and khaki pants. I had my service weapon and badge on the right side of my hip and my handcuffs, extra magazine and radio on the left side of my hip. After the class ended, I went to my local supermarket known for low prices and blue shirts to get some things for dinner. While I'm there, a little kid who looked around 9 to 10 years old walked up to me. He asked me, "Are you a police officer?" while pointing to my service weapon. "Yes, I am. I want to be a police officer when I grow up," he says that with much excitement. When I'm in uniform, I always carry around little plastic badges for when I run into kids. So I stood there for a few minutes talking to the kid while his mother was shopping in the aisle. When they go to leave, I give the kid the plastic badge and say, "Here you go, little buddy. You're now a junior officer." He smiled big and gave me a hug. He was so excited and started saying in a sing-song tune, "I'm a cop, I'm a cop. I'm gonna get all the bad guys." The kid and his mom walk off and I go back to my shopping. I kneel down to look at some chips I'm thinking of getting when I hear someone clear their throat. I turn and see a lady, Karen, who looks to be in her early to mid-40s. The lady glares at me and I go back to looking at the chips. "Excuse me, are you going to help me or not? I need to know where the..." I cut her off and say, "Ma'am, I don't work here. You'll have to find an employee." "Don't lie to me. You're dressed like an employee. You obviously work here." Now keep in mind, I'm not wearing the yellow vest most employees wear. I'm just wearing a blue polo shirt and khakis. I stand up and turn to her, showing my department logo on my shirt and pointing to my badge. "Ma'am, I don't work here. I'm an off-duty officer." I don't understand what went through her mind when she said, "Stop lying. Why do you have a gun? You're not supposed to have a gun while working. Where is your manager?" I sighed. I've dealt with many Karens on duty, and I knew where this was going. "Ma'am, again, I don't work here. My supervisor is Sergeant Dan. I don't work for this tour." At this point, Karen looks mad and staring at me like I'm lying here. Karen then yells, "You lying little jerk. I swear, all people your age are just lazy and never want to help anyone. I want your manager now." I again inform her that I don't work for the business. I even pulled out my credentials, which is a photo identification card of me in uniform with the department name and logo and has officer under my photo. It should be also noted that I keep my driver's license and debit card in my credentials since I have to have them on me at all times when I'm in public. Just makes it easier to keep everything together. Karen snatches my credentials out of my hand and stuffs them into her purse and says, "These are fake. I'm taking these and showing them to your manager and the real police." "Ma'am, you just committed simple robbery, which in my state is the taking of anything of value which is in immediate control of another with force, but not armed with a dangerous weapon. This crime is a felony and punishable by up to 7 years in prison. Return my credentials now or I will be forced to place you under arrest." "You can't arrest me because you're not a cop." I remove my radio from my hip and inform the dispatcher that I need units to my location for a Signal 65 simple robbery. Dispatcher acknowledges and I hear 3 units state they were en route. I place my radio back on my hip and tell Karen she's now being placed under arrest. As I go to grab her left wrist, she slaps me with her right hand saying, "Don't touch me! Help! I'm being attacked!" I yell at her, "You have now committed battery on a police officer. Stop resisting or you will go to the ground." I notice people are now forming, wondering what was going on. I hear on the radio that the units are on scene and asking for my location. I press the radio button and give them my aisle. A few moments later, 3 fully uniformed officers show up. Officer 1, 2, and 3. Officer 1 asks me what happened, and I give him the rundown while Karen is spewing all sorts of lies of how I threatened her with my gun and how I had attacked her to Officer 2. Officers 1 and 2 stay with us while Officer 3 goes to the security office to play back the cameras. While waiting on Officer 3, I'm chit-chatting with the other 2 officers. I went through the police academy with one of them. We hear Officer 3 saying over the radio to the other 2 officers to 10-15 Karen, which means place her handcuffs and arrest her. The 2 officers do so, and they are placing her in handcuffs and reading her Miranda rights. She starts struggling and saying that she's innocent and that they should arrest me for pretending to be a cop and attacking her. Officer 1 tells her, "Lady, we have you on video. You've been lying to us this whole time. You're under arrest for simple robbery, battery on a police officer, disturbing the peace, and now resisting arrest. You have the right to remain silent, and I highly suggest you use it," another officer tells her. The 3rd officer walks up to us with a copy of the camera footage, and all 3 walk Karen to the backseat to Officer 1's car. I spent the next few minutes explaining to the sergeant on duty who showed up about what happened, filling out a statement of the incident and having photographs taken. The photographs are standard procedure whenever we arrest someone for battery on a police officer. Once everything is said and done, my credentials are returned to me, Karen is taken to jail, and I go home. I'm never stopping at that business again when I'm wearing my training class uniform. Hello everyone, I promised if I ever came across another entitled Karen, I will post, and I hope this is a right subreddit. So I just started my shift and I was feeling good. I had a good dinner. All of my good partners were on shift and I was jamming out to my favorite Backstreet Boys track in my car. Then it happens. Dispatch sends out a call about a disturbance at a local coffee shop in my area. So I take the call and zoom in over. I pull up and there she is, Karen. I take one step out of my patrol car and she basically runs up to me. Now Karen was 42 years old with that really short haircut, and I did notice that she had a big red mark on her cheek. "Ma'am, is everything alright?" I asked her. In the most dramatic tone she said, "Thank goodness you're here. I was just attacked by a crazy woman in a coffee shop." "Okay, where is she?" Karen points to a woman in the shop. I tell her to wait outside. She doesn't, and I request an additional deputy to come out. I walk inside and see a young woman who is very angry and very pregnant. I would have to say like 7 months maybe. She's sitting at a table on her phone. I approached her and asked her what happened. So I'm in here getting a coffee, just minding my business, when that lady points at Karen, walks up to me and starts touching my belly. I ask her to stop, but she keeps touching me. Then when the barista sets my coffee down for me, she takes it off the counter, hands it back to the barista, and says that it's illegal to sell coffee to a pregnant woman. Then she starts touching my belly again, saying that I'm a bad mom. I ask her to leave me alone and stop touching me, and she then tells me she's a mother and that it's okay. She got really rough touching my belly and I got really scared. When I tried to walk away, she wouldn't stop, so I slapped her to get her to leave me alone. I looked at Karen, who was standing by the door rolling her eyes as a pregnant woman was telling her story. My partner shows up and walks up to me. Now, my partner is a noble crab taker, short, southern, corn-fed, mud-raised woman. I asked her to hold it down out here. I talked to the manager and several employees behind the bar, and they all confirmed what the pregnant woman said, and the manager even brought me back to the office and showed me the security footage. All of it confirms the pregnant woman's story, and on the camera it looked like Karen was getting aggressive with the pregnant woman because the lady tried to walk away, but Karen wouldn't let her stomach go. I walk out to the pregnant woman. "Ma'am, you want to press charges?" I asked the pregnant lady. "Yes, please." I walk over to Karen. "Ma'am, I'm gonna ask you to turn around and place your hands behind your back." "What?" "You're under arrest." Side note, in my state, you can be arrested for intentional and unlawful touching of someone. Since Karen was both aggressive and kept touching this pregnant lady, she broke the law. She then started screaming, "You can't arrest me. It's not illegal to touch a pregnant woman. You should arrest the employees of this place. They were giving coffee to pregnant women, endangering the child." "Ma'am, no, you cannot touch someone without their permission, pregnant or not. Second, there is no law that says a pregnant woman cannot drink coffee. So please turn around and place your hands behind your back." "No, I am not getting arrested. I'm leaving. I have to get home to my children." Karen turns to leave the store and my partner steps in front of her with a grimy look on her face. Karen stops dead in her tracks. I took that moment, snatched her hands and put a pair of handcuffs on her. Karen loses it. She starts trying to get away and screams. She's flailing so hard that she knocks off my body cam, and I have to pick her up and carry her to my patrol car. When I get there, my partner opens the door, but Karen actually puts her feet on a panel to stop me from putting her in. My partner rolls her eyes, grabs her taser, and zaps her leg. Karen shrieks and finally gets in the car. My partner, the saint she is, says she will do the paperwork while I take Karen to jail. So the whole ride I'm getting told how I need to watch my back, how she knows a sheriff, and how I'm going to lose my job, and how I have no idea who she is. I get her to jail and she starts going off about her right. She needs to talk to a lawyer and she needs to be released right now. The jail staff was looking at me with that, "What nightmare did you bring us there?" So I did my report and realized I still have 9 hours on shift. Luckily, the rest of the night was not that bad. Context: I work at the Bullseye Mart. Just passed my 5-year anniversary there actually, so I'm pretty familiar with how systems work, like our pickup system. Once someone places an order, it can take anywhere between 2 to 4 hours for it to be ready for pickup. This allows for factors like arrival into our system, prep time, pickup, and other mishaps that happen in retail life. So basically, if you order something at 8 a.m., then your order will be ready anywhere between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. There is a warning about this when people order online right on a page. But as it turns out, a lot of people are apparently a 19-year-old named Jared. Now to the story. So I show up for my 8-hour service desk shift at 11 a.m. to massive relief. 60% of our opening staff called off due to COVID-related symptoms, and the church crowd, the bane of my existence, is starting to trickle in. Resigning myself to a long day and a daiquiri when I get home. 23 years old baby. I get to work. 5 minutes in, the phone starts ringing. I don't pay much attention at first, thinking maybe one of the managers will pick it up when they notice a line curving towards the service desk. And that's when I notice one manager hopping on a line to help line bust, and another pushing an order cart. Well, that doesn't bode well. It cannot be too bad, right? Hey, why do I suddenly hear boss music? As I'm working on a line that just keeps growing, the phone keeps ringing and ringing and ringing. If it stops ringing for a minute, it starts ringing again. For 45 minutes, the phone keeps ringing. I call out over the walkie for anyone to at least answer it, but we have literally no one. Finally, once the checkout line is clear, my friend we will call Autumn rushes over and answers the phone, and this is the conversation I hear. Autumn says, "Bullseye Mart service desk, sorry about the wait. How can I help you?" "Uh-huh. Okay. What's the name on the order?" "Alright, let me check real quick." "Sorry ma'am, it's not ready yet, but it says your order should be ready within the next 3 minutes or so." "Oh, I'm not sure, I'm not saying it's wrong. Hold on a minute." Autumn turns to me. She says, "Can a customer come in and get their order if it's not ready?" Me still working on returns but still trying to help. So the customer can technically come in and get the item they ordered in store if they know we have it. It's just that they would have to cancel their original online order since it would technically be 2 separate transactions. Otherwise, it's recommended that they wait until they get the email saying the order is ready. Autumn says, "Oh, okay." She tells the customer on the phone what I just told her. Alrighty then. Again, sorry for the long wait. Have a nice day. Goodbye. And so that was the end of it. Hey, did the boss music just get louder? 10 minutes later, a woman in her mid-30s carrying a 6-month-old daughter in her arms walks up to the service desk. This is the Karen of the story. "Hi, how can I help you?" I tell her. "Hi, I called a bit ago about a pickup order. The girl on the phone says it wasn't ready yet, but I was wondering if it was ready now." Me, remembering Autumn told her it would be another half hour at least before it was ready. But not wanting to be rude, I say, let me check. What's the name of the order?" And she tells me. Alright, let me see. Shock, horror, not at all surprising. Her order of an infant life jacket isn't ready yet. Sorry ma'am, but it's not ready yet. Let me just… But I ordered it at 8 a.m. when the store opened. Why isn't it ready yet? Well, you might have ordered it at 8 a.m. but our system might not have got it until maybe 9 a.m. Why not? Because I'm fairly certain Bullseye Mart's pickup servers are overseas. Karen scoffs. Excuses. Now I specifically ordered this as a bring to my car pickup. I didn't want to bring my daughter into the store and now look at what you made me do. Side note. In my state, we're around 50% immunized against COVID as a population and we just opened up immunization to 13 and up. Not to mention at this Bullseye Mart, if you've been completely immunized against COVID, it's your choice if you want to wear a mask or not. I've only had the first show, so I still mask up. This woman wasn't wearing a mask, so either she's been immunized or she never liked wearing masks in the first place. 50-50 shots. Also, I've seen babies younger than hers in the store since at least May last year. I say, if you'd like, I can call back to our order placement crew and check and see if they have your order in a cart. Why didn't you do that in the first place? Sighing and shooting the baby in her arms, a pitying look. I call back to my coworker and ask if anyone has an infant life vest in their cart. My manager, let's call her Nevaeh, answered and said it was in her cart, but it would be another 10 minutes before it was ready as she was in the middle of a pick patch. Karen, who overheard, starts getting really mad. Why can't she just bring it up to me now? She knows it's mine, so she should just give it to me. Ma'am, our pick patches are set up so that we only know what items to grab first. We don't know who has what order until we go to the bag and label it. Besides, our system still says it's not ready, so we couldn't just give it to you. It would be like Amazon delivering you a package but not charging you. I ordered the item. I waited all morning for it. I want my item. And as we told you on the phone, it wasn't ready yet. Now either you can wait 10 minutes and it will be ready, or you can cancel this order and go back and get another one and go through self-checkout or a regular lane. I didn't want to come into the store. My daughter's going to get COVID because of you. I want to speak to your manager. That woman you overheard talking about your order? Yeah, that was my manager, Nevaeh. She's the only one on the floor right now. I want my item now. And I want compensation for this awful customer service. I want what I want. At this point, I notice another line of people forming behind her, all looking fairly annoyed that they have to wait. This Karen is still screaming about the injustice of how her order isn't ready even though she ordered it before and blah blah blah. So, to get her to calm down and to get out of my line, I quickly gave her a free $15 gift card as an apology. I still feel dirty for doing this, but she left me no choice, and I asked her to wait off to the side. She happily accepts the gift card and begrudgingly steps out of the line to wait. Not even 5 minutes later, Nevaeh rushes up and hands the woman her life vest, and Karen flounces off before Nevaeh can finish her sentence. Later, when a closing manager came in, she asked me what happened to her and the gift card I gave her, and after explaining the situation, all she did was suggest that the next time something like this happens, I kept the gift card at $10, which I can understand, as I didn't even want to give her that gift card in the first place. I still feel bad for that baby girl, growing up with a mother like that.
And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.